Hey guys, this is Tony with Geek Designs. Today I'm back with another graphic design video. Today I want to talk about how do you become a freelance designer. Freelance designing is one of those careers in graphic design that it's a sexy career. You work for yourself. You're your own boss. You make your own hours. You can wake up at 9 and kind of mosey throughout the day and then get your work done when you want to get it done. But there's a lot of stuff that people might not think about when you do freelance design, or might not know all the work that it takes to become a freelance designer. Those are some of the topics I want to talk about today. So let's jump into it. Remember, design videos come out Monday, so get subscribed for that if you haven't already. Let's start off by the big thing that people think about is what's the difference between freelance design and having a design job. I work as an in-house designer and a freelance designer, so I can give you both of these sides really easily. As an in-house designer, you're working for one company, that company only. You're supplying the marketing and sales team all the tools they need, and any other team in the building might need your services. Also, you're applying your skills to their specific needs. But as a freelance designer, you're going out there. You have to find these clients. You have to hunt these clients down. You have to convince them why to work with you. You can work with as many clients as you want, as many as you can handle. But if you're working in an agency, you have someone trying to find these designers or these clients for you, and you're only working on one project at a time, maybe two, maybe a couple, but not as many as a freelance designer would be. It's a lot of work to become a freelance designer. I'm not trying to scare you away, but maybe suggest some of you that don't have that work ethic to hunt down clients, do meetings, do 100 emails a day, 100 DMs a day, and try to find as many clients as you can in your area or online. It can be hard and it can be a lot of work and it can kind of bring you down sometimes. It's not a job for everyone. It's really hard to make a lot of consistent money as a freelance designer and keep that pace up. That's why a lot of freelance designers will then start to stretch out and do other adventures as well. Or some will have a full-time or part-time job on top of freelancing. Freelance will become like half their income or maybe just supplementary income so they can get that itch out of design work. So what tools do you need to become a graphic designer? Let's start with that. What tools do you need to become a graphic designer or freelance designer? Well, first of all, you need some type of computer. You could have a computer like mine that costs around like $600, or you could have, a not expensive laptop. This laptop costs around $300, but with the couple upgrades that I've done or I'm gonna do to it, it'll be a more than powerful enough design on the go machine. You also need a portfolio. You can have a portfolio on the web. I prefer for you guys to have your own website as a designer. This just makes you look more professional, gives you a home for all your content and your portfolio and a place for people to contact you without having to go through third parties. You can do, Wix, Squarespace, WordPress, or code your own. There's plenty of more options than when I started. My website's on WordPress. You can do whatever you want. I would also suggest you have some way of physically showing your portfolio to people in meetings. This isn't going to happen as much as it used to, but you can have a print portfolio or a tablet and show your customers your portfolio on one of these. I have a video I did last week where I went through my first portfolio to kind of show you guys where I came from. That's my print portfolio. I haven't touched it in years. You can see in the card above if you guys are interested in that and kind of see where I came from and where I'm at now. I would also suggest that you need a way to invoice people. This is something that a lot of designers don't think about. Your laptops, your tablets, your computers, that's all the go-to stuff. But you need a way to invoice these people so when they pay you, you have a way to get their money. PayPal, Stripe, there's a couple others out there, just depending on your region and what you have access to. I use PayPal just because PayPal has a great invoicing system. It works. They take a small cut off the top of it, but hey, at the end of the day, that's not that much. You also need emails. You need ways of tracking all this stuff, ways of tracking your hours. You can do these manually or however you want. And then you need a way to, on top of that, figure out how much you're going to charge. How much is your time actually worth as a designer? I have two ways of charging clients. Well, there's a couple, three maybe. One, hourly. I honestly suggest clients away from this, but some still prefer it because it can get expensive really quickly. And I'm the kind of designer, I like to make sure that my clients are not getting ripped off, but they are coming back for quality of work. Hourly, you track your hours, you add how much your hourly fee is to it, and you're done. And the size of the project. So, I have a website, blah, 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 X amount of pages, that's X amount of dollars. And then I always ask for half up front, half when complete, or we do half up front, and then we split the last payment into two payments at different milestones. So the client's not paying it all out of pocket, and then they're getting the work that they need. Let's also talk about how you find your clients, or how you start building your portfolio and start finding your first clients. Because those first clients are going to be key. They're going to be your referrals. They're going to be your testimonials. They're going to be the ones that put you on that platform above all of your competitors and colleagues. There's plenty of ways. I've talked about this in a bunch of other videos. I'll put a card above that talks about this directly, but I'll just go down the rundown of the ones I always suggest. Social media. Go on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. Find people that are searching for these things. Use family, friends, and colleagues as a way to start building a portfolio. Find local businesses. There's a couple other ways you can do this. You need to start building these up as fast as you can. Get referrals. Get testimonials up. When bigger companies start asking for your work, they're going to start asking for these referrals. They just want to know that you say you are who you are, and your quality of work speaks for it. There are some clients, trust me, I still deal with them. They're arrogant, and they think that just because you've 5 years of experience, that's a lot of experience, honestly. 5 years is a good amount of work if you've done 5 years of work. But that's not enough for them. So you have referrals to back it up, and you have testimonials to back it up, and you have your portfolio to back it up. But just have those ready. And then you also need to worry about that salesman part. Freelance design is part sales. You're 50%, I would say, well, maybe not 50. Maybe like 70% salesman, 30% designer. You're going to have to go out there, put your name out there, find clients, communicate effectively with them, get ready to sell with them, get ready to work with them. If you don't feel comfortable with this, that's okay. Just be ready to have someone help you out and pay them effectively. So you're going to need to make sure those margins are high. This comes back to cost. Do you want to charge $200 for a logo, or do you want to charge $800 to $1,000 for a logo? You're going to have to start somewhere and increase up. But to get those $1,000 clients is a lot of work. So maybe you need someone to help you, and you just give them a cut of that profit. Also, as a freelance designer, you need to start getting your contracts ready. I'll probably tell the story about when I got screwed as a designer by not using contracts. That'll be a video for another time, but contracts are needed. You don't need anything fancy. You just need to talk about payment arrangements, when they're going to get paid, how much it's going to be, and what happens if they don't pay in a certain time window. That's called net, net 15, net 30, net 60. You want to be as low as possible. Usually you can get away with net 15, net 30. That means 15 to 30 days. If they don't pay, you can crank up the price, which is always good. But you also want to say, what happens if one party decides to leave? So what if your client decides to leave? Well, they should be able to pay you X amount of dollars because you got this much work done, and that you still hold all the work on your end. They don't get to use any of the work that you've built till that point. If you leave, well, then you have to give up your work up to that point so that the client can continue to go. That's usually how my agreements go. That's what happens if each party leaves. There should be a termination clause, whatever you want to call it. If the client decides to terminate, you get money. And then some smaller things. But you could basically find a designer contract out there that's a boilerplate. You put your name and stuff and everything in there, and they work pretty good for what you need. You don't want to always pull out your contract every time something goes wrong, but you need it in your back pocket as a designer. It just needs to be there in case something goes wrong and you have something that says in writing that we did this agreement and they did not follow through with it. But if you've heard all this so far and you really want to start as a freelance designer, I would say start as an in-house designer somewhere and freelance on the side. You'll still get experience that you won't get anywhere else as an in-house designer. You'll learn how clients think, you'll learn how clients understand design, and you can take that to your clients and seem more professional than other designers. On top of that, you'll have a steady income on the side. So if things go south on your freelance end, you won't have to worry about, having a roof over your head, having food on the table. You'll have something to keep that going for you. I would also say that, take the tips of how to start finding clients and put that to the extreme. You're going to have to work twice as hard as any agency ever will to try to find designers. And some clients prefer agencies over freelancers. It's just a trust thing. They think they're going to get better work. Not always true. They think they're going to have a better experience. Not always true. So you're going to have to work really hard. Expect a lot of sleepless nights. Expect a lot of, rubbing your relationships. It's happened to me. But if you want to do it, it is effective and you can grow as a freelance designer. That's going to do it for this one, guys. I hope you learned something. I hope you got something out of this. If I didn't explain anything well, or if you need something explained any better, just get down those comments down below and I'll get down there with you. Remember, design videos come out Mondays, so get subscribed for that if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next one. Bye.